Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I haven't filmed for a little while and that's because I was out of town. I actually went to Mexico. You guys want to hear about it? Figured I'd do some makeup and kind of talk to you guys about my most recent travel experiences since I am venturing out a little bit. Kind of, I don't know, to share with you guys some of the things that I experienced in case that's interesting for you. So, hi, my name is Shelly. Welcome to my channel. And so I'm just gonna put some makeup on and we're gonna kind of chit chat, and I'm not a makeup artist. You guys know this already. I'm gonna start with this Dr. Jart's. This is the Tiger Grass Color Correcting Treatment. I saw somebody do a video where they put this all over their face and it completely neutralized any redness, and I was like, okay, that's actually kind of cool. And while I normally don't have rosacea or anything like super red, I did notice that the sunscreen I was using in Mexico caused a little bit of a breakout here. So I've got a few spots here that I kind of want to just neutralize a little bit. The makeup that I'm doing today is actually very light, so I just dabbed a little bit of this on me and then I'm gonna kind of blend it in just a little bit. You can use this as a primer, but it just kind of takes away some of that redness, and I've been really enjoying it. I can't remember if I got this off Amazon or if I got it off Sephora. I saw actually somebody else use it recently on their channel, and I was like, I've got that. That's crazy. Who knew? Who knew they were all like share a collective brain? Okay, guys, so Cabo, that's where I went, and I did go last year. I didn't take my camera this time, which means I didn't actually film anything, so I'm just gonna kind of talk you through it. We weren't really sure what to expect, and we'd had a trip planned last February, and we ended up canceling it because of the whole CDC guideline things. I'm actually gonna use the Flower Beauty Get Real. This is one of the only, it's serum foundation, but it's one of the only base products that I have that's actually dark enough for my current skin tone, but I actually do like this. I actually did my makeup earlier today because I had a mammogram. I'm all over the place on this. And I took it off so that I could film with you guys. That works all right. Okay, so anyway, Cabo is just kind of like a easy destination for us, being on the West Coast. They have actually done a very good job setting up testing for tourists. I mean, like, tourists are their industry, right? They don't have really anything else of industry there. It's tourism. So they do everything they can to make it comfortable for people to come back. It's relatively safe. We just really enjoy it. And I mean, honestly, March, April, and it's 80, mid 80s, no rain. It's like, why would you be anywhere else? Especially when it's 40, I think it's 43 today. Our flight was actually completely packed on the way down there. So a lot of other people had our, I guess, thought. I think it was maybe, because you know how like spring break, it's like a longer period of time than one would think, because there are so many different schools that do different weeks and different school districts do different weeks. So like, I know my son's is like the first week in April, but then the neighboring school is like the last week in March, and I think it might have been like spring break. When we were leaving, it seemed like there was a huge amount of college age kids coming. Liver punishment is what we'll call it. I'm gonna use this. So I've got a Maybelline Color Tattoo. I think the color's Urbanite. I like to use this as an eyeshadow primer, and it's very neutral nude. A lot of kids were heading down there. And I think the resort that we stay at was like 50% capacity. I think they're allowed 50% capacity, and ours was pushing the envelope at 50%. The one question people wanna probably know is, how is testing down there, since you have to get a test? I was a little concerned. I'm gonna say it kind of cheeky, I'm a COVID survivor. I actually tested positive last fall, early last winter, I guess. I was concerned that I wouldn't be able to, like, what happens if you get down there and they do a weird test and you get a false positive and stuff like that. So I did get a letter from my doctor saying that I'd been fully recovered. When I tested positive, and then I tested again and tested negative, and got a letter from my doctor, and so I had that with me, although we didn't need it. Like, nobody asked for it. Maybe somebody cared, but nobody that I talked to cared. They were able to do the test actually there on site, which was actually kind of cool. You guys get tired of me using the same eyebrow products every time? I keep it in here and then I don't use it over there, and then this is the Benefit Goof Proof Brow Pencil. This just makes it super easy. This is in shade 3.5. Anyway, so most of the resorts have on-site testing, and if you're staying in an Airbnb or someplace that doesn't have on-site testing, you can actually get tested at the airport. They have like a mobile clinic set up. I think Mexico actually did really good with a lot of like their major international airports. having mobile testing. I was kind of surprised when I looked. I didn't realize that the airport was going to have it, but we saw it before we leave. And if you're Canadian, hi, thanks for being here. They do have PCR testing. You just have to give yourself a little extra time. We did, and I was concerned. I was like, okay, even if they can do testing, is it going to be accurate? How long are we going to have to wait? You know, if we only are down there for 5 days, are we going to be able to get our tests back before we leave? We had same day testing there at the resort. Like, they had taken over the what do they call it, hospitality suite, and just had people do COVID testing there. So we got there and we made an appointment. I think a lot of resorts were either doing it for free or significantly cheap. I think at the airport, I think the regular antigen test for US entry was like $23 US. Factored in as the cost of your trip. What light liner is this? I was gonna bring a fun lip liner or lipstick, and I forgot to bring it in here. Okay, so this is the Essence Soft Contouring Lip Liner in Big Proposal. I don't know why this sounds good, but I'm gonna use this one. You know what? This is probably gonna be too pink. Oh no, it's neutral enough. My husband had never been tested before. He got tested for the first time. And our testing in the community that we live in, the early testing, which was basically like a very long, almost like a straw that they stick way up into your brain. And then they upgraded, at least in our community, they upgraded the test to be like a super easy, almost like a cotton swab that they swirl inside your nose for a count of 5 or whatever it is, and then that's how they get their sample. Anyway, these were like the old school, really long straws that go all the way up, and then you taste it in the back of your, it's like sinuses, drips down into your throat. Gross. Sorry, you guys. That's just, I don't know how to describe it. Anyway, we got our test results same day, like maybe 4 or 5 hours later. We stopped by the front desk and they're like, oh yeah, here it is. When we were negative, and they looked at it. Airport was super easy. I think by the time, because we don't check baggage, but in the Cabo airport, you still have to print your boarding ticket. You can't use they don't have like a digital QR code to check in on your phone. So we had checked in advance, but then we got there and printed our boarding passes, and because we do carry-ons, they went through all of our information, had to do another like medical attestation, and somebody checked it, just kind of like at the information counter. They just kind of checked it, stapled it together, signed off on something, sent us up to TSA. We were TSA pre-check. We walked right through, and we were at our gate. By the time we got off on the curb to being at our gate, 14 minutes maybe. It was super fast. Okay, you guys, I picked up 2 of these Jaclyn Hill blush duos. By the time I remembered to get them online, there was like, I think maybe out of all of her combinations, I think she's got like 7 or 8 different combinations. There was like the 2 lightest ones and then one like super, super dark one. So I got the 2 lightest ones. One of them is called Lilac Love and Top Tan. This is the one I use more than not. I've been using this on a regular basis, but it's not going to really work with my eyeshadow look today. So we're going to use a slightly different one. This is called Pink Me Up and Oh Honey. That's the shades. And when I first got this, I thought they swatched so light. I've since changed my mind on it. So we're going to use this today. So we're going to start with the bronzer. I actually kind of like to mix all of them together, but now my skin has quite a bit of color, and I think when I first got these, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're barely discernible on my pre-tan skin tone. And you can see how much that builds up. Yeah, that builds up. So I think I told somebody, Jenny, maybe on Instagram, I think I said, oh, go darker than you think you're gonna need to. I don't think you need to do that. If you're buying this at Ulta or if she's back in stock online, you might not need to go darker, so I apologize for that. I actually do really like these. At first I was like, I don't know that I'm gonna love these. And now I'm like, okay, I really like them. They're made in, I think the formula's in Italy. I did, while I was on vacation, pick up or order, was able to get online and get a couple of her liquid lips that she just released. So I'm excited about that. I'm going into the blush now. I probably should have said. That's why I'm not a professional YouTuber or professional beauty person. Anyway, I did order a couple of the lip products. The one that I wanted, Be Brave, was sold out immediately. The lip liners were sold out in like 3 minutes. Once I realized the lip liners were sold out, I went ahead and hit submit order on the lip products. And by the time I had hit submit order, one of them was already sold out again. So I grabbed another one. I grabbed 2 of them. I'll be curious to see when they come in. I think what I'm going to do when they come in is maybe just do a face full of Jaclyn Hill products because now I have a number of them. I have a number of the highlighters, and because she re-released them, it makes sense to kind of dip back into them. But I'm really, really liking these blushes in the bronzer combination. They build so nicely, and I feel like it has just a nice like glow to the skin. 14 minutes we were able to get out of our shuttle, print our boarding passes, get everything signed, get through TSA, and get to our gate. We gave ourselves a lot of extra time because we weren't sure how long it was going to take. We didn't need to do that. But I did hear some comments from people that said that they did their testing on site, and some people said that with the PCR testing, they did it like the day before, 2 days before. Other people said that they got their results like in and under an hour when they did the antigen testing. I'm going to use an eyeshadow palette that I haven't used before, and I don't think it's new. I'm pretty sure this isn't new. It's maybe newer, but it's new to me. This is the Pretty in Peach Morphe palette 9E. I actually just took it out of the box. And I think Morphe changed their packages. Like, it's still the plastic case, but it used to not have this raised lettering on it. It used to be just like black and said Morphe, and then they would give you like the little, 9E in the bottom. It does say it has a 12-month shelf life, made in China. When it's made in China, I think that means I have to test, right? I'm feeling bad right now. This is what the palette looks like. And I just thought this was just like such a fun, spring, pretty palette. And I've been using the same palette for a week now. So I'm excited to use something different. I'm going to start with, actually, you know what? I'm going to start with this lightest shade. It's very flesh colored. I'm going to use that all over my lid just to kind of set down any transfer of foundation, that foundation serum that I used. Wow, I actually really like that. That was like the lightest matte in here. What else can I tell you? Most people were wearing masks in public places. I think you had to, like in the mall, they took your temperature, they, kind of squirted you down with hand sanitizer everywhere. The spa in our property, you can't even like really get in the door without having them take your temperature and squirt you down with sanitizer first. They always have like little mats that you can walk through so that you're not, whatever's on your shoes, you're not bringing it in. I'm gonna go in with that. The mid-tone matte in here, it's not the darkest matte, but it's not the lightest matte. It didn't seem like that there was a ton of people in the marina. There was some, but not a bunch. Most of the stores that had been there last year, the year before, were still there. Oh, I can tell you that if you do test positive at your resort, at least at ours, they had special rooms kind of set aside that were just for COVID positive, so you could be there until you can test negative so that you can fly back into the States. I mean, there are worse places to get stuck, but getting stuck in your room anywhere is no fun. So I didn't ask how many people had actually tested positive. Something, I guess, to think about. For the most part, people didn't get invasive as far as like in your space too much. We ended up having some great conversations with some people. I feel like I've got a hair hanging out here. We had some great conversations with some people that we met, and I hope we become lifelong friends. We do that though. We tend to chit chat. I really want to use this coral. I'm going to use the coral under my eyes. There's like this bright coral in here, and then there's like this kind of dusty mauve. This is a good palette to do multiple looks because then you can do this kind of taupey shimmer and that mauve and that. Right now I've done this one and this one. I think I'm gonna use this one all over my lid. We're going bold. We didn't see any Canadians this time, and I think it's because maybe they didn't know that they could do PCR testing there. I think it's a little bit more for the PCR testing. I had no issues. None. I don't think they were doing like the live shows quite as much as they used to do. They do like 6 a week. I think they were doing 4 a week, but it felt relatively normal. I mean, people were wearing masks. People were social distancing a little bit, but it was pretty much like if you were in a like phase 3 community. I'm just going in with that same brush I used before. I didn't grab any more product. I'm just kind of cleaning up. Movable lid, shimmery situation. Wow, that feels very pretty and bright. Testing was fine. The travel was fine. I need a smaller brush. I'm gonna go into this bright coral here. This is gonna go underneath my lash line. Yeah, the travel was fine. So much so that because it seems like we can't get anywhere else, we'll probably be back there several times this year and take the kids down there. My daughter has never been tested, but my son's been tested like 5 times. There is this lighter kind of pinky shimmer. I'm gonna actually use that for my inner corner highlight. I actually dried my hair today for the first time in like a week. It's so much longer having dried it straight-ish. Like it's never going to be bone straight, right? Like I have just too much hair. But it's been curly for days, and when it's curly, it's shorter. Kind of buffing that in, clean it up a little bit so it's not crazy amount of sparkle. I need eyeliner. Now I did bring in, I got this ColourPop set of eyeliners, and I thought maybe I would do something with it, but I think I'm going to save it for something fun because it's got all these crazy rainbow colors in here. You know what? This half probably would look fantastic with that new Natasha Denona palette. I'm not even going to open those right now. We're going to grab a Morphe eyeliner. This is in Date Night, which is just a brown. And I'm doing my old school way of lining my eyes because I just find it gives me the right placement of where I like my liner. When I freehand it, it doesn't ever look quite right. I mean, I can like leave the house, like I'm not going to be embarrassing with my family, but not non-pro tip. And I did go a little bit heavier than I normally do. But when I do like lighter pastel-y kind of eyeshadows, sometimes I feel like I need to ground it. Let me scribble it right against my lash line there. On vacation, I was wearing the same palette every single day, and I needed to change. It Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. I'm getting through this, you guys. I've been using this for a while now, and then I left it in here on my filming table instead of in my regular like daily vanity. I should have taken this on vacation because I could have used it then. I took a YSL like sample mascara, like a small little travel, and I didn't enjoy it. I'm also tired of nude lipstick because I took like KKW lipsticks. I'm tired of them now. The eyeshadow palette that I did do, I absolutely love, and I highly recommend it for traveling, and that's the Sydney Grace Mel Thompson Tiny Marvels palette. It has such great combinations. If you want to do something a little bit more tropical and exotic, you've got it. If you want to do something very monochromatic, you've got it. You've got the purples and the pinks, and you've got the coral colors, and anyway, I really like that palette. I think I've traveled with it several times now. We're going to use these carroty colors. I know that they're probably a little too, maybe more monochromatic than I needed to, but it's a work from home day. Well, except for the mammogram that I did out. So I have a matte in All That, and then I'm going to use the gloss in Weekender. I put this on, and then I go, why didn't I take this to Cabo? Because that would have been good to use. Okay, we're going to use one of the Jaclyn Hill base powders. What is this called? Jaclyn Hill loose powder. I think it's called Luminous Powder. It's in the shade Brilliant. It's a little darker than I normally do. I need a big fluffy brush here for the summer glow. We're rocking here. And Do Me is like my favorite one of these. That sounds strange to say. DEW. And I did pick up, what else did I buy when I bought the blush duos? I bought a loose highlighter, and then I bought one of the pressed highlighters. I do have the 4-pan of pressed highlighters, and I have, I think, 2 of these shades here. I feel like my under eyes are a little darker than I want them to be. I need to lighten that up, don't I? Garnier eye roller thing. I'm gonna put a little of that in here. And it looks ridiculously bright right now. I'm trying to think of what other like base products I have that are gonna be able to handle this kind of darker skin tone. And I think I've got an e.l.f. What is this, a BB cream? Yeah, I do have a BB cream that's much darker. And then I think I have a Pat McGrath foundation too that's darker than I normally wear. I'm gonna have to dig that out since it's warmer weather now. Technically not entirely warmer weather yet, but it will be soon. Yay! Okay, I need the glass now that the lipstick is dried down. I am all monochromatic out. How are the blush? How's the blush and bronzer looking? Is that this one? Yeah. I'm gonna maybe grab just a little bit more of that pink right up here. Kind of bring it up a little bit higher on the cheekbones. And then we'll dust a little of that bronzer just a little bit lower. Me over abusing blush, that's weird. Okay, and I know you guys are tired of this, but this Pretty Fresh hyaluronic acid, I am trying so hard to use this up. I love it so much. It smells so good. Okay, you guys, Cabo, 2 thumbs up, was practically normal, no issues. so glad we decided to try it out and risk going there. And it was fantastic. I would absolutely, if you're looking to get away somewhere, it's easy. I call Cabo Mexico light. I don't want to be offensive to anybody, but it's like everybody speaks English. They take US dollars. It's very Americanized. And if you're down with like just like a step away from home without like fully immersed into another language, I mean, you should try to speak some Spanish, but they also take kindness on you if you butcher it. I've discovered. Know a few phrases. Okay, guys, that's it. That's it for me today. Yeah, I mean, I have tried a couple new things that I haven't played with on this channel before, so I hope that was interesting for you guys. I feel all like summer ready and spring ready, and I don't really want to lose this healthy glow that I have going on, but in days it'll be faded. I'm actually gonna probably start doing some of my work outside. I'll like do my schoolwork and my work in the backyard when I don't have to be like on camera. And then maybe I'll keep some color going. So with sunblock, but not the sunblock that I've been using that worked me out. Okay, you guys, I need to get out of here. I hope you guys are doing really well, and until my next video, bye for now.